And we are back in the studio setup for this video. Got some things, some different scenes and stuff that I'm working on. So it's going to be a work in progress. So thank you guys for sticking with me. But today is a video I've been trying to make for a long time. Just have not had the time to make it. It's about defensive tackle Daron Payne. Now, before you go there, build through the draft and all that stuff. We know that's how you build the foundation of the team. And that's exactly what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are doing. However, somewhere down the road, you got to spend some money, whether it is on a Jalen Ramsey or a Daron Payne. So today we're going to talk about defensive tackle Daron Payne. The Detroit Lions could use some help at the defensive tackle position. They also lost their defensive line coach last night, Todd Wash, who will be going to the Carolina Panthers. Now, for this guy, I already know what you're going to say, but you got to hear me out first, listen to the video, and make a decision. And you got to remember, somewhere down the line, you're going to have to throw the bag or pay someone. It's going to have to happen, whether you do it at the end of their rookie contract or you do it in a free agent market. So let me know what you think down below. Now, without further ado, let's look at Daron Payne, his stats, compare his stats to his contract, his projected contract, and where he's projected to go and land in this offseason. That is if the Washington Commanders do not franchise tag him. They could. Players nowadays are not playing on the franchise tag, especially when they can get their bag. The NFL will allow certain players to tag them twice, 2 consecutive years, and a lot of players, which is right of them to do, are not playing. Lamar Jackson will not play under a franchise tag. So if the Washington Commanders don't tag him and he does indeed become a free agent, then here is what we're looking at when it comes to Daron Payne being a Detroit Lion. So I hope you guys are sitting down for this because this is going to blow your mind. According to Spot Track, his annual projected salary is 5 years, $97 million, which is $19.4 million a year. That will put him in the contract comparison with Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Leonard Williams, and Eric Armstead. That's how steep that contract will be. Now, again, I know what you guys are going to say, build through the draft and all that stuff. And yes, that's what we have to do. That's how you make a good team. But eventually, you have to throw the bag at somebody. I mean, when St. Brown becomes a free agent in a few years, remember, St. Brown was a 4th-round pick. So we only have him locked up for 2 more years. He's going to want some money too. He's going to want to get paid top-tier receiver money. And if you want to make a difference, you got to spend some money. So I understand what you got. Eventually, y'all, we're going to have to spend some money, whether it's on the front end or the back end or right in the middle like we are now, entering year 3, and we got to spend some money. I'll tell you what, you guys know how I feel about Nick Bosa, and if Nick Bosa becomes a free agent, then I would love for the Detroit Lions to snatch him up. But we're talking about Daron Payne right now. So knowing how much Spot Track has him projected to get, is that something that you're willing to see? And I know what you guys are saying, but we're getting a quality player for almost $20 million if the Detroit Lions decide to do that. And remember, Brad Holmes is a very frugal, tight individual. This will be the most money that he's had, but he knows how to make a dollar stretch. Y'all remember, I'll buy that for $1. Well, that is 100% Brad Holmes. Now listen, Daron Payne is a worthy investment. He's only missed 1 game in his entire 5-year career. That came in his 2nd year as a Washington Commander. Now listen, he has just started to come alive, started to get the swing. Daron Payne is in his prime right now, and he is going to command a ton of money. 11.5 sacks last year from the defensive tackle position. That is a position that the Detroit Lions need massive help in. Imagine Aiden Hutchinson, new rookie edge, coming off the opposite side. And then we got Daron Payne eating up the middle. The run game also would be more stout when it comes to stopping the run. So, again, how would you feel if we get Daron Payne for upwards of $15, $17 million? That doesn't mean that it's going to be that, but he's going to get paid. I'm projecting anywhere between 17 and 22 million per year. Now, that also doesn't mean that the Detroit Lions and Payne have to agree on a 5-year deal. He's going to want to get paid. He's going to want to get locked up. Look what happened to Ndamukong Suh when he left Detroit for the Miami Dolphins. He was there, 3 years? And then they cut him. So that doesn't mean that we have to keep him all 5. but I would love to get this player. The Detroit Lions are looked at to be contenders for next year, and this is before free agency and the draft. Here is my dream offseason scenario. Jalen Ramsey is on the trade block. We trade for Jalen Ramsey. We don't give up too much, but we give up just enough. We sign Daron Payne in free agency, and we sprinkle in a Levante David at linebacker for good measure. Right then, all three levels of the defense are instantly better. So let me know what your dream pre-draft free agency would be for your Detroit Lions. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. Subscribe to the channel because we are going to give you more Detroit Lions content that you can handle. None of the clickbait titles and all that stuff. That's starting to bother me a little bit. The clickbaity titles, all of this. We got the people that are not Detroit Lions fans, and even some Detroit Lions creators are starting to get very clickbaity when it comes to the titles. Promise you I will never do that. There's a fine line you got to walk between clickbait and truth, and I tend to side on the truth. If my videos flop, it is what it is. That's just the nature of the business. But I'm going to give you somebody you can trust in this space. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions. And remember, eventually, we're going to have to pay somebody.